Are we wearing the same shirt?
Did we just become best friends? Welcome to LA Kings Fan Talk with your boys, Rodney, Mike, and Rob.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another show, and welcome to a new year where the Kings are undefeated, thanks to a dumpster fire of an organization. Am I right, boys?
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, everybody. So the Kings closed out 2021 by ending the Canucks winning streak in a shootout. And then we started the new year off right by defeating the Flyers 6-3 on Saturday night. Rob, what are your thoughts on the last two games?
Not only did we snap Vancouver's streak, but the Flyers actually were on a point streak. They were, 5-0-2 or something like that as well. So we snapped that as well. So I just like the fact that we're running into hot teams and we're not using the excuse, oh, we lost to a hot team. And we're actually winning games. We got to keep climbing above 500. 500 doesn't make the playoffs, and just a few games over 500 does not make the playoffs. But we were talking about this stretch of games, and here we are. We are putting ourselves in the conversation, which as a fan, that is what we are hoping for. We want playoff hockey for sure.
My favorite excuse when we're beating some of these teams are, oh, congrats, you beat a team where half the players were on COVID. I'm like, everybody's team has half the players on COVID. So, Mike, what'd you think about the last two games?
Yeah, just piggybacking off what you just said right now. I think the last game we were kind of talking about lines, and I was like, who knows what the lines are going to be, because it seems like somebody's new is out of the lineup every week because of COVID.
Right.
It was great two games, though. Quick played great. It was good to see him bounce back after we were questioned a little bit in those past two games before when we talked last about he had two rough games, but maybe it was just fatigue because he looked good. He had another one of those was a scorpion save behind the back.
Right.
His pad actually got that, but if that went over the pad, his glove would have been in position to do it. Yes.
Right.
Kempe scores again, and here we go, man. We have a 30-goal scorer here.
Are we? Is he?
He's on pace for 35.
You heard it here first, folks. Mike is calling it.
A dozen games ago, Iafallo was on pace to score 40.
True that.
He's right back down to, okay, we hope he gets 20.
I will say Kempe finishes the year with more goals than Iafallo. That's what I'll say.
Well, we'll see. 14 and 10 right now, isn't it?
We'll see.
Yeah, 14 and 10.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things I want to get to. I'll save it. Save it.
Yeah, let's start with, we're talking about COVID. We were just talking about Iafallo. So let's talk about Turcotte and Iafallo being put in the COVID protocol. But we are getting Brown and I think Rob's boy, Olimata, back. Did you guys see how they lined up in practice today?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I do not like Anderson on the first line.
I like Brown on I like Brown on the third line. So they have Kupari centering Brown and Grundstrom. Yeah, see how that turns out.
I mean, I'd want to move Kelly up, but I'm like, the fourth line looks so good. I don't want to mess with it right now. Yeah. Even though they're probably more the third line than anything.
The fourth line and the second line were our top two lines last game. So I'm starting to wonder about Kupari. He has trouble holding on to the puck. He takes a hit from somebody, he loses the puck.
Careful what you're saying. That's Mike's boy.
I'm trying to say it in a way that won't hurt your feelings too much.
He's so much better than Ferk, so watch what you're saying.
That's a good point. But I'm wondering if they're keeping him up with the big club to hopefully use him as trade bait, hoping that he'll score a few more goals here.
Well, you're using the word trade bait, which brings a whole new subject into play, because that's
It
some of the
does.
things I want to talk about too, is just trades that we need to make. And the word need is appropriate, I think, because it's not want. We have to get rid of players. We
So,
really do.
yeah, need because we have too many players, or need
Yep.
to make the playoffs, or both?
Both
Yeah.
actually. I mean, here we're in a position right now to where we can fight for a spot. I don't. You have to sit there and question whose spot we're going to take. Are we going to take Edmonton spot? No, are we? It's because I don't think we're going to catch Colorado. You
So
know,
now you want to talk about standings, which is a whole nother thing.
right? Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying.
He said he wanted to
just,
talk about everything.
He did.
I do. There's so much I want to talk about. But trade wise, yes, Kapari. I think he can be a very good player for another team.
Yeah, because in my head, I'm like, let's just send him down to Ontario, bring somebody else up. But they haven't done it, so I'm like, maybe they were trying to showcase him or something. I'm not sure.
I don't know. He might. I just feel like he might turn into Trevor Lewis, which nothing wrong with that, you know.
So I don't know if you guys feel this, but I kind of feel like because we have so many players, other teams know that, and it's kind of hurting us. They know that we need to make a trade. We might not get the full value for these guys. I don't know.
Well, last week we were talking about trading Matt Roy, and then I'm gonna hedge on that. I'm gonna sit there and say maybe not, maybe not. You know, there was I'm judging him from that Canadian swing we took earlier in the season, where I just felt he was like our worst player, like
Right.
6 out of 9 games. He was just really bad those 6 games. But if you're taking him as a whole for the whole season, and you're taking his cap hit number, he's a pretty good defenseman for us.
And in the last 2 games, he's looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Will Landon look good together.
Landon's looking pretty good.
But it's also one of these things here where, I mean, it's not rocket science. You have second pairing defensemen playing well, and second line scoring 11 points, and guess what? You win games, right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be that way for the rest of the season. When Iafallo disappears, we're gonna struggle. When Kempe disappears, we're gonna struggle. If that fourth line isn't giving us energy and scoring chances every game, we're gonna struggle, because Kopitar, the one that's struggling right now is Kopitar, right?
Right.
So, but here we are with all these struggles.
Yep.
We're 4 games above 500 and right in a playoff position, to where we just got to hope. I'm hoping it's the Ducks. I hope the Ducks just fall on hard times and they just plummet. That's what I'm hoping for. But right now, it looks like the Oilers are the ones.
Right. They lost again tonight.
Yeah, that was sick.
So what are they? So let's go to standings. So what are they? They're only they're 1 point ahead of us, right?
The Oilers, yes.
So they're what? They're fourth in the Pacific. We're fifth, and then what? We're up on the Sharks by a couple points, I believe.
By 2 points, yep.
Yeah. So we're right in the mix of it.
And and we gotta watch our rearview mirror with San Jose and Vancouver. We got to look forward and hope the Oilers and the Ducks kind of fall, because I think the Flames and the Vegas Knights, they're going to be there.
Yeah.
They're just going to be there. So
yeah, this is kind of what we hope for in the beginning of the season, right? To be in the playoff race. That would be a positive season for us, and that's kind of where we're at.
Well, 32 games is 40% of the season.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking? 40%?
Yeah.
And here we are. We're doing this podcast as Kings fans, and we're talking about playoffs 40% through the season. That's good. Hopefully 80% through the season, we're still having this conversation.
And at this point last season, we definitely weren't having this conversation. So
last season we would have been quoting what's your old Colts coach? Playoffs. You want to talk playoffs?
Yeah. More. Yeah.
Back to the players. I was gonna say quick shout out to Lozot, man.
Let's do this. Hold on. Since you're going there, let's open up that new segment, Mike, that you wanted to start. Who's your Kings Player of the Week? Mike, start us off. Is it gonna be Lazat, or is he just like an alternate?
Well, I'll go Lozot because I was already going there anyways. But I mean, that guy was kind of written off at the beginning of the year, right? Like players A, B, C, and D were all going to take his job, and he just keeps clawing away and positive impacts on games and hustling all over the ice and just doing everything he can to keep his job. And he's doing a great job.
He's looked pretty good. I think I'm gonna go next because it kind of piggybacks off of yours. I'm gonna say Lemieux. You know, we got our record's pretty damn good with him in there. But he brings the grit. He brings the scoring, which most people did not even know he had. I don't know if he knew he had it before he came over to us, right? And then, but I really think he's elevated Lazat's game.
Shout out to his sister Claudia.
Right there, it is. I think it shows in Lazat's love for Lemieux. I don't know if you caught that last goal they scored there, but yeah.
Yeah,
Now
right.
is Kaliev a third wheel there, or let's play geeky fans here? Do do they like each other? Is he their younger brother that annoys them, or do they think, wow, this kid's good too, and they're happy he's on the line? Is there a full line love there, or is it just the bromance between Lazat and Lemieux?
I'm gonna say it's to be seen. It could be either or. What do you think, Mike?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think I would say it's like geeky little brother right now.
Hmm.
Hey, Rod, just
Or in their case, geeky bigger brother. But yeah.
yeah. So Lemieux's best season was 12 goals in 2018, 2019
Okay, so projected this year based on his current
With
pace.
Winnipeg and New York.
Analytics guy, based on his current pace, what's he projected to score this year?
Uh,
He's got 7 goals right
17,
now.
17 goals.
So he's on pace to break it.
Yeah.
And that's with 11 minutes average time on ice
11 minutes from a
through his
fourth-line
22
player.
games. Yeah,
How good is that? It all comes
No,
back to what I've
not
been
at all.
preaching all year. Say it for me, Rob.
Yeah, no
Basically.
value.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All comes down to value.
We're always talking about value.
So
I thought you were going
Rob,
to say Martin Firk, but okay.
Player of the week for you. Who was it?
Well, since you guys took my two answers,
Ah,
yeah,
good one.
Come on.
I'm gonna go with a limited player here. Dano. I'm gonna go from the game we got embarrassed. He did not play in. He comes back, and our last two games were so solid. And it's, I mean, offensively he was seen last game, but just like I said, the toll he takes off of everyone else defensively in that forward position. He's my player of the week. Just coming back in, energizing the whole lineup right away. Two solid games, two wins.
Did you see that look of excitement and on his face when Moore was able to pass to him for that 2-on-1? The little
That was
sauce,
so easy
the
too.
little sauce pass. So he was
All 2-on-1 should look like that.
right.
All of them.
It's good stuff. Yeah, I was actually about to give you a shout out earlier about you were saying Dano was what was missing for us.
Yeah,
We were losing
remember?
there. And
I did
now he's
say that.
back, and now we're winning again. And the people we called out are playing good. I'm thinking we should be on the Kings payroll. I don't know. Just saying.
We just got to call people out just
Right?
randomly, even when they're doing good.
Who's due to be called out for the next week? I mean, we're only playing probably a couple games.
We
You
both.
said it earlier, man. Call out Kopitar.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
well, he is. All right, Kopitar,
that's a big one. We're calling
You're up.
Kopitar out.
you're up.
Time to step it up.
Remember, because we even just said, I don't know, quick, I don't know, and then he has the games he has. So
Right?
I mean, Kopitar, you at least have to be a point per game. Come on, man.
yeah, you
29
take away the
points,
5
33
points he
games,
scored
come
the
on.
first game. Now he's way down there. He's
Right.
Oh, but if you add 3 points to the last game, then he'd be higher.
Is it weird? Here let's visit let's visit plus minus again. Our two worst plus minus guys are arguably our two best offensive weapons. Kempe and Kopitar are both -6.
Why is that, Mike? Because they're on
He's
the
on the
ice
ice all the
against the
time.
other team's best players, or what?
Yeah, they're on the ice all the time.
Well, Anderson and Doughty are too, but they're +6 and +5 respectively.
It is what it is, man.
Matt Roy is a +9. Holy crap! Did not
Right?
know that.
Wow, I didn't know that either. I
Yeah,
just,
that's pretty high up.
but the CNI test,
Dano is a +8.
I just know over the last couple of games, Matt Roy, I'm like, oh wow, he's playing a lot better. He must have watched our show. Yeah,
Yeah,
just saying.
there's another. Yeah, that's just another example of a call out.
And then my boy Toby, he's just quietly playing a solid defensive game, not getting beat like other players. I won't mention names. Dersey. Yeah, they hardly call his name, which is great for a non-offensive defenseman. So
You think he should get a shot to play with Doughty? Do you think that would take his game to another level if he was playing on Doughty's paired with Doughty
I
playing
guess
top
that
minutes?
remains to be seen. But I think you could put him on any of the lines, and he'd be fine.
Well, I'm just saying, do you think that would benefit him more if he was playing with Doughty?
I'm not sure, but I would like to try it just to see. I think it benefits Mikey Anderson playing with Doughty.
Yeah. That's until we make a trade, right, for a defenseman.
Well, let's get back to that because my Rob wanted to talk about package deals, trade rumors. What's on the trade block? What's going on?
Well,
Yeah, Rob, who
we
you,
talked. We
who'd
talked
you have
about
in
the
mind?
Chikrin. We talked about the
Talk about
Chikrin
that.
trade.
Yep.
I know.
And
I
then-
felt like you had somebody in mind earlier when you were talking
No,
about.
well, I wanted to talk about the Chikrin again, and you and your 2 first-round picks and all that stuff, and then I started going. He's a -29.
He plays on the Coyotes.
I get
man.
it, and he's on the ice the whole time on the worst team. Whatever. He's only got
Barely
2
even-
goals and 5 assists.
Okay, what was his stats last season? On a better Coyotes
He had
team.
40. He had 40 points.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to pay for 2 years ago.
Pay for last season versus playing on a horrible team this season. Come on, look at the surroundings. You're gonna judge him based on his surroundings.
So you're saying 3 first-round picks now, Mike? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, up it up. I'm
Yeah.
just saying you can't judge him. Look at all the moves they made this offseason
Chikrin's a -29.
because he's on the ice all the time for them.
Everyone else, there's no one else though that's -15 even.
All right, well,
He's more than double everybody over. He only has 7 points.
So Rob, you're saying pull back
So
on
if
the
he's-
package deal a little bit.
so if he's a -29 and the coach keep putting him out there, there's got to be a reason why he keeps putting him out there. Right?
Okay. Forget the minus. He
Yeah.
has 7 points, Mikey. 7 points. That's it.
Yeah, he's trying to carry the workload on a bad team.
Our defensemen on the Kings, they're terrible offensively. Matt Roy has 12 points.
Wow, that kind of puts it in perspective. Maybe they should give us 2 first-round picks and Chikrin for a couple prospects.
Alex Edler has 11 points, and he hasn't played in a month.
Arizona has 15 points total in the standings. Their team sucks, man. What do you think's gonna happen?
So is Chikrin part of the problem of why they suck, or is
Have you seen
he
their lineup?
CNI test? Do you guys
No,
watch
he's
a
not
lot of
that-
Coyotes
he's not
games?
the problem. He's not the problem. Look at their
Okay,
lineup.
So you're bringing OBJ into this?
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying here, Mike.
You're
not
just looking
sa-
at he has 7 points and he's -29, so he sucks.
No, I didn't say he sucks. I said he's not worth 2 first rounders and everything else that you were saying. That's
just trying-
there's nothing. I
I'm
did
just
not
trying to
say
be
he
realistic
sucks.
on what it's going to cost to get him.
What's that?
I'm just being realistic on what it's going to cost.
2
to
first
get him.
rounders for a guy that for a 7-point defenseman? Are you kidding me?
All right, no, hey, your opinion, my opinion. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, it is.
We'll wait till it gets traded, and we'll see how much it costs, and then we'll see who's closest.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys watch Coyotes games besides when the Kings play them?
Dude, Coyotes fans don't watch Coyotes games. Why the hell would I watch Coyotes games?
I have watched a period or 2 here and there.
So as a scout, CNI test, what do you think about his game? Not looking at the stats, just a couple times you've seen him play.
I think he plays a little bigger than what he is. He's a 6'2", 200+ pound kid that plays even bigger than that a little bit. I like how he skates. I like how coordinated he is. but I don't. I'm not so sure if he's as advertised with the offensive awareness. I'm not so sure he's the complete package. And complete packages get two first round picks, a roster player, and a prospect. That's all. So I'm still sticking to my one first round, one prospect, and one roster player.
I would love to.
We'll see what they get whenever they trade him.
Exactly. I can't wait to do the
But just so you
Kings
guys,
acquired Check Run show and to talk about what they actually dealt for him.
so you guys know, on their third line is Louis Erickson, who's been buried in the minors for the past 5 years, and Andrew Ladd is on their fourth line, who was also buried in the minors for the past 4 or 5 years. So that tells you exactly what you need to know about their lineup.
Shane got to spare, left-handed defenseman. He has 5 goals and 15 assists on that same team.
The Ghost. Nice. Good for him. I thought his career might have been over.
Yeah, and he was a healthy scratch most of last year.
Wait. How did he score that much on a really bad team that only has 15 points?
And he's only a -7. Why? I'm not understanding. He's playing 3 less minutes only. 3 less minutes than Chikrin.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't watch Coyotes, but who do you want? You want Ghost? You want Ghost or do you want Chikrin? Who would you rather have on your team for the Kings right now? And if you say Ghost, you're lying, just to make me look bad.
I'll say it again. Try
I'm
to get
just
it through
asking.
your thick young skull. Just listen to the words. I'm talking about how much we're going to pay for him.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, and again, I think I'm being more realistic of what Coyotes are going to ask and what they're going to get for him.
And my point is,
granted,
I don't think we should pay what they ask if they're asking that much for a guy. Because if I'm an arbiter, if this is arbitration hearing, I'm going to sit there and say, I'm going to point out how terrible your numbers are. I'm going to point out what other guys, similar situation as you, are doing. And I'm going to say, this is why you're not worth what you're asking.
And then the Coyotes will say, "Oh, that's fine. We don't have to."
Okay, and then we move on. Then we move on.
Yeah. Cool. That's realistic. What I think they're going to get for him whenever they trade him. That's just what I think.
Okay.
You think?
Would you, if you're running a team, would you pay 2 first rounders, a prospect, and a roster player for Chikrin, or would you go a second rounder, a prospect, and a roster player for Gothisper?
I wouldn't trade for Gosper.
Value. Where's the value at right there?
I'm just telling you, I wouldn't trade for Gosper. We don't.
Okay,
we don't need another small defenseman.
So you just said what I just said. You'll walk.
I'll walk. Yeah. So
or you'll mortgage your farm and give all this money for a 23-year-old we don't know about, and then you'll be sitting there without a first round pick for the next couple of years, wondering why you suck 5 years from now.
We have 15 top rated prospects. Do we really need 2 more first round picks?
So Chikrin is the hill you want to die on.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Let's talk about Quentin Byfield. So word on the street apparently is Kings had a little change of heart and they think they should keep him down in the minors for a while and keep Turcotte up. What do you guys think about that?
Okay with it. Doesn't bother me. I mean, he just scored his first goal in 6 games. Let him keep playing. Why not?
Rob, same feelings?
No. Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like that. A horse has to learn how to run.
Yeah.
Let him go run around, figure out what it's like to be a guy. And scoring that overtime laser that he had last game for the Reign, that's a good start,
That was awesome to see.
Yeah, let him do that a couple more times and feel what it feels like to score and have that time and space and see if he could come up and do it at the next level.
So keep Turcotte up for a while, right?
Wow, Turcotte, if that's what it is.
Yeah, I'd give him at least 10 games, right?
Or do you send him down to play alongside Byfield. For
I'd give him a little taste for now. It's not like we have
right.
a great option at third line center, anyways, right? It's kind of there for somebody to take, but nobody's really taking it, right?
Well, it's there for Kapari to figure it, and he's not.
I kind of feel like he's just destined for the wing, right?
Yeah. So here you go, Rodney. You maybe I don't agree then anymore. Let's switch Byfield right now and give him the third line center and let him run with it.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think you need to give, like I said, Turcotte like 10 games.
Well, no, let Turcotte play the wing with him. Let's go ahead and start it right now. Byfield, Turcotte, Kaliev, third line.
The all rookie line. Really?
See, he called it the kid line of when he was referring to Kapari's line right now. Yeah. Let's make it the true kid line.
So now we're playing make believe because we know
that won't happen.
Yeah, he's not coming off.
We know McClellan would never do that. As a matter of fact, here's one thing we always know. If we win a game, the lineup will not change at all for the next game. It just will not.
But is that a bad thing though?
It is and it isn't. I don't know. Like, what if let's say you have McDavid in your lineup and you win a game, he comes back from COVID, you're like, oh, sorry, bro, you're sitting on the bench. I mean, would you do that? I don't know. Oh, sorry. Mike, let me reach out to you. Let's say Chikrin's on your team. He goes the protocol, comes back, but your team just won the last game. You going to keep Chikrin on the bench?
No way. Okay, put him back in.
Just wondering.
Yeah, it's so funny, too, because we keep worrying, like, hey, what are we going to do when all these guys come back? And then somebody goes out of lineup all over again. Yeah.
Here, let me do one for Rob. Hey, Rob, let's say you're the Red Wings and COVID happened a long time ago. And Eisenbrand goes out with a protocol. And then now he's back, but the Red Wings won the last game. You keep him off, not playing for a few games or what?
Of course not. He goes right back where he was.
If I remember right, he's like one of your top 5 of all time, right?
He was a good player. Yeah. Especially on NHL 94. Sega. It was badass.
It's in the game.
Yep.
It's in the game.
How do you guys feel about the schedule coming up? Nashville, Detroit, Rangers, and Pittsburgh all at home.
With what we've been playing all the hottest teams out there. I mean, I'm fine playing whoever right now. I thought you were going to refer to our schedule in February, which is like almost 0 games. But I feel that's where all of our rescheduled games will be put in. But that's only 3 rescheduled games. And I think it's, I don't have it in front of me, but right now from February 2nd through like the 23rd-ish, we have 0 games scheduled because of the Olympics.
I think February 5th weekend is All-Star weekend, right?
Yeah, so the All-Star weekend and the Olympics were supposed to happen. They're not happening, so that's almost the entire month where we're not even scheduled to play.
Yeah, that's going to be weird because right now only on the schedule we have is February 2nd and February 23rd.
Right. But I mean, that's going to be the same thing for a lot of teams. Every team, really, right?
Yeah.
So,
Nashville, Red Wings, Rangers, Penguins, with the exception of the Red Wings because they're slipping some. But Nashville and the Penguins are really good hot teams, and there's not a hotter team out there than the Rangers.
Rangers, yeah.
So try to keep sniping people off.
I'm pretty sure you said it yourself, Rob, or maybe you tweeted it yourself. We're streak killers, so bring us all these hot teams. We'll shut that down right now. I'm pretty sure the only
everyone's yelling. We're going streaking, but not through LA. That's for sure.
Next Thursday, not this Thursday, but next Thursday's return of Jeff Carter. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will be.
So, what do you guys think about Dustin Brown? You guys think he's coming back for another season after this?
Like, does he want to come back, or will the team want to come back? What are you saying?
No, I think if he wants to come back, Rob Blake will bring him back for another year. I'm just curious if you guys think he'll come back.
I think so.
I don't know.
It might also have to do with how well this team does this year. Or if they make the playoffs, how well they do. How does he want to go out? I don't know.
That's yeah. Dustin's one of those ones, a lot like Jonathan Quick. It's really hard to get a read on him sometimes with his emotions.
Is he going to be like Justin Williams, and then if they do good next year, they're going to make the playoffs? Hey, come on back.
Come back in
Play
halfway
with us
through
in the playoffs. Yeah.
No, that won't happen.
Yeah.
he's, as far as Kings folklore go, you can't get. I mean, that's Dave Taylor shit, right?
Right?
Yeah.
His whole
Dave
season
Taylor
with the Kings,
plus
two
two
Stanley
cups.
Cups,
Yeah.
plus 2 cups, captain, just fan favorite. The way he plays the game so hard, it just. I don't know. I think he might be done in his head. Hey, let's go out this season. Well, and a lot might have to do if they make the playoffs this year or not.
Yeah.
And it could go either way, actually, too. If we don't make the playoffs, does he go, do I want to come back for another year of not making the playoffs? Or if we do make the playoffs, does he say, do I want to come back again, for this grind? I mean, he might be done. I don't know.
His kids are getting older. If they're like, Daddy, we want to see you
And
on TV for another year.
And that's what makes me think. That's what makes me think a lot sometimes is that comment right there when he's talking about his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Is he really wanting to just be with a family guy? I mean, him coming back another season, another 2 season, another 3 season, does it change anything for his career, his legacy? His legacy is already cemented in my mind.
Yeah.
He is an all-time king.
Jersey to the rafters.
Two-time cup champion. His jersey's going to the rafters. If he plays 3 more seasons, he's not going to make the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Regardless.
He seems like you said, like he's very hard to read. But I don't know. I feel like he would be the kind that's the prideful type that he's like, if I'm not playing as the way I think I should be playing, then it's time for me to wrap it up. And I feel like he might be there this season.
Right. Yeah. It's exactly. He's a proud dude as far as the way the game should be played and how it's played and the way he plays it. The older you get, the harder it is. I mean, he's going to be a 38-year-old guy running around slamming into people next year again. And then 39-year-old, it's hard to play that type of style when the closer you get to 40.
Yeah. Plus, and if he's starting, if he's playing next game, he's playing next game on the third line, and he continues that trend playing third line, fourth line minutes, that also may kind of triggered himself. This is it,
Does he, or does he just play long enough to get 400 goals? He doesn't look like a number guy to me. I don't think he really gives a shit about that stuff.
When does Cal Peterson play again?
Wait, should we talk about Arvidsson because he finally scored a couple times?
Yeah, we can't brush over that, I guess, right? I mean, when you're talking about guys that are getting paid money, not Kempe, I'm talking about Arvidsson.
Right.
He was brought here for one purpose and one purpose only. That is to shoot the puck and score goals.
Yes, he's been doing the puck shooting. He's been doing
the puck.
He's been doing the puck shooting, and now a couple are going in. When things weren't going in for him, we really didn't say much because he's trying to do his job. And now he's producing some. Still don't think we need to talk a whole lot about Arvidsson because he's just doing his job.
Right.
When he starts deviating from doing his job, maybe he'll catch some heat. Or maybe when he starts doing things above his pay scale, maybe he'll start catching some praise. But I don't have really much to say on the subject of Arvidsson.
I mean, he was brought here, like you said, to shoot, score, and he's definitely shooting. I mean, you get the guy the puck and he'll shoot from anywhere. So I love that about him,
I do love it too because the Kings are an overpassing team.
Yeah.
It was even getting it was even it was definitely grinding Jim Fox's gears. He's like just basically saying just shoot the freaking puck. Yeah.
I heard that wrong.
Yeah.
So Mike,
I'm sitting there. I can't stand seeing somebody in between the circles with the puck on their stick and they pass it out of that home plate, the home plate that you score from. Jarrett Stoltz talks about all the time.
Yep.
Well, it happens time and time and time again when we're in those scoring areas. Yeah, let's just not shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Grinds my gears. All right, Mike, here's the question for you. So when Moore was down on the fourth and third line, you're like, oh, this guy sucks. He should just be a fourth line player at the most, whatever. And now he jumps up on the second line. He's putting some points up. Mike, do you think he's actually a top line player who was just stuffed down on the bottom lines and he wasn't able to showcase his skills? Go.
I mean, he's looking good past couple games, but I don't think that'll last. I think he's got a couple hot games. He's playing with Dano and Arvidsson. He's reaping the benefits.
So if
So think about what Kaliev could do in that same spot with his shot.
so that was my next question. So let's say they fire Todd tomorrow. They bring you in as head coach. Do you immediately swap Moore and Kaliev?
Yeah,
I would like to see a Dano Arvidsson Kaliev line just to see.
Dano and Arvidsson bring so much energy that Kaliev. Not saying he doesn't. He's just not an energy type player like that. He's a shooter, so he just needs somebody to get him the puck.
All right, Kings fans, that is our show for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Until next time, go Kings, go!
Go Kings.